Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7 and today we are checking out the Gareth Bull Xyro. And of course, that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if this is worth adding to your collection or your daily carry rotation. I did buy this myself. It was not sent to me. This was designed by Gareth Bull and this was OEM'd by Riot. So right out of the gate, so I bought this on the secondary. I absolutely love this knife. Unfortunately, I had to sell it. And that sucks. I know we've all been there before. You got something in your collection that you just don't want to part with, and I had to part with this one. But I will absolutely pursue another one in the future. Man, I'm just so bummed. All right, let's talk about it. So right out of the gate, we've got this really nice carbon fiber on the front and the back scale. It's super smooth, but if you grip it, it does provide some traction, which is kind of nice because just brushing over it, it's like, oh, that's really smooth. But then you squeeze it and it's like, wait a second, I'm a little locked in. Okay, sweet. We've got T8 for the pivot screw and then a single T6 down here. And we actually have, it looks like, a T6 underneath the pocket clip as well, if you can see that. I should have known that was there. I actually didn't notice it until just now, though. And then we have a deep carry milled titanium pocket clip that is non-reversible. And then we do have about a 50% backspacer, and we have no lanyard hole. So who cares? No one. All right, now as far as the ergonomics, this thing genuinely melts into your hand. No hot spots, not even warm spots, right? This thing, my hand's almost more comfortable holding this than not holding anything. You know what I mean? Like it's just that comfortable to hold. Super lightweight, super agile, a lot of dexterity to this knife. Like I say, it's not that you need to move quick or anything like that. You don't need it to be super agile. You're not like, defending anything or like blocking other pocket knives. But it's just nice to hold something and be like, okay, I have total control over this. Whatever I do, like however I move my hand is going to be directly translated into the blade. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a knife that's kind of heavy. It's got some heft and it's confidence inspiring heft. This is like confidence inspiring dexterity, if that makes any sense. I'll assume that it does. Now, as far as the jimping goes, the jimping is mostly for the front flipper, but it's actually partially functional because the jimping is relatively sharp. Not super deep, but you can see the teeth. At least I think you can see the teeth. My camera's picking it up. But the jimping is actually functional. So you can, bear into it and really follow through with the box cutting, the paper cutting, whatever you want to do. As far as the blade goes, we've got a really nice, beautiful drop point blade. We've got a belt satin on the hollow. We do have a hand satin right up here, right across the top. And then we have a bead blast inside of the cutout windows. We are rocking M390 for the blade steel. M390 is going to have, decent toughness. Like it's going to be okay toughness, but really good edge retention, really good corrosion resistance. It might take you a little bit longer to sharpen it, or to strop it up. That's the nature of the beast. Typically when something has good edge retention, the same properties that make it hold its retention in use are going to be the same properties that make it take a little bit longer to sharpen it, whenever you take it to the sharpener or, like I said, if you go and strop it. Now, as far as the action and acoustics, super easy to actuate with the front flipper. Acoustics on the way up. Very snappy, very satisfying. We do have a little click on the disengage if you listen. So just a nice little click of it on the way down. A satisfying little like mini thud. Now, these windows are functional, so you can absolutely reverse flick it. I don't do the thumb as much, but you can absolutely do the thumb. The action on this thing is just super smooth. If I were to give it like some 10 weight nano oil, it would be more drop shutty than what it is. And I was going to skiff this. I haven't skiffed it. And the bearings inside of it are kind of like, I don't know, they look like they'd be terrible because the bearings are so small, and the and the balls that it uses are so tiny, microscopically tiny. So it's like, as good as this action is, it's only that good because of the tolerances and the weight of the blade and how they've constructed it. None of that good action is coming from the bearings that this uses, which means if you were to actually put skiffs in this thing, the action would be mind-bogglingly good. Like, I can't believe, oops. I can't believe it's not butter good. So the access to the, this is a liner lock, by the way. The access to the lock bar, super comfortable. You can see this has been cut back to allow plenty of room, still scalloped out over here. You get in there, you push. It's got a little bit of tension to it, so you have to push it, but it's a satisfying amount of tension. But overall, this thing is a delight to manipulate, a delight to fidget with. This is one of those knives I'll say that you really have to have it in hand. And I know I've said that about a few knives, but I would say this one as much as the Xyro. Though it's two knives that I've never gone from feeling a certain way about it to being absolutely in love with it, based on going from like looks to actually having it in hand and using it and manipulating it. I couldn't say enough good things about this knife. Now, I will say, or we'll talk about price in a second, but we'll get to price in a second. Overall length on this bad boy is going to be 6.83 inches. That's a blade length of 3 inches, and an overall blade to handle ratio of 0.78 or 78%. And then we have a weight of 2.5 ounces. We'll do a size comparison. This guy's still on the table, so we're going to use him. And they are pretty neck and neck, but it looks like the Xyro is going to beat it out. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the Vosteed Martin. Review on this guy coming soon. So they're all kind of in line with each other. And then we'll go ahead and throw out the milled aluminum Civivi Brazen, which is going to dwarf the Xyro. And then we're going to go ahead and bust out the Civivi Button Lock Praxis, which is also going to completely dwarf it. All right, so is this a knife that I carry? Is this a knife that I would collect? The answer to both of those is absolutely yes. Like I said, I really didn't want to sell this knife. But, sometimes other things fall into your lap and you have to make decisions. And this wasn't the first thing I wanted to sell, but it was the first thing to sell that would bring in as much money as it did, right? Speaking of money, these are no longer available brand new. When they were $450. So no matter how good a knife feels, it doesn't mean it justifies any old price point. $450 for M390 and carbon fiber, even Riot built, that's too much. I would have been pumped, and this would be a no-brainer at $350, $375. Like I would have been happy at 375. It would have been a no-brainer at 350. You break 400 though, and it's like, all right, where's the sauce? You know, what's the little extra you're bringing to the table? And don't get me wrong, the action is absolutely incredible, but that's what's justifying the 350, 375 price point. You hit 400 and 450, and it's almost like you're okay. So what? It's that price because because of the name behind it. Gareth Bull. Don't get me wrong, he is a fantastic knife designer, custom knife maker. His customs go for ridiculous amounts of money. He's incredibly talented, works super hard. Nothing but good things to say about that guy. But this isn't a Gareth Bull. This is a Gareth Bull by Riot, right? So Riot is still going to be, in my mind, kind of the default to what helps dictate the price. And Riot executed this beautifully. The design is awesome. I mean, this knife is, it's as far as like perfect, this knife is pretty darn close to a production knife, as close to perfect as a production knife can get. If I didn't know this existed and somebody handed it to me and they were like, hey, this is a mid-tech, if I didn't know anything else, just based on feeling, I would say, oh, I feel that. I can see that. It looks like a mid-tech, feels like a mid-tech, right? So they knocked it out of the park, but I can't, at 450 though, it's still, at the end of the day, carbon fiber, M390, Riot made, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, absolutely carry it. Love it. Absolutely collect it. I do plan on getting it again in the future. I'm just going to have to keep an eye out on the secondary. But let me ask you, is this a knife that would find its way into your daily rotation? Is this a knife that would find its way into your collection? Or does this knife not speak to you at all, right? Do you have zero interest in this knife? Maybe because of the size or because of the, you don't want to spend that much money on a knife. Whatever the reason is, let me know down in the comments. Now, if you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you want more content like this, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SEVRSEVN. And thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate the love and support. You guys have been absolutely amazing. The growth has been amazing. And I really can't thank you guys enough. So thanks. And until next time, peace.